Hello, everyone, and we got some exciting news. And this actually does revolve around politics, but it's good for crypto, I promise. It involves the potential ouster of Gary Gensler at the SEC, which we've been talking about for a very long time. Because of the McCarthy ouster and the fact that Congress is in a complete mess, they actually put a pro crypto advocate as the speaker of the temporary speaker of the House. It's Patrick McHenry who is now in control of the House. Now, a temporary speaker, his main job is to actually get a permanent speaker. But remember, this is the guy that wants to subpoena Gary Gensler in the SEC, and this is the guy that wants to kick Gary Gensler out, and now he controls the lower house of Congress. And he could actually control it for an indefinite amount of time because there doesn't really seem to be any appetite for compromise to actually get a new Speaker of the House, which means he has his time to grill Gary Gensler and maybe oust him even. And he's going to give Gensler a hard time whenever he can. Now, to be fair, he's not going to have very much time because his main job is to actually find a permanent speaker. But maybe he's gearing up for that main he is actually gearing up for that main speaker role. The other part is that one of the guys that's been floated for the main speaker and like the primary guy the GOP wants is Tom Emmer. Now, the thing is I think the MAGA people would vote for Emmer and maybe the rest of the Republican Party would actually vote for him as well. Or they could probably try to get Democratic support for him. And Tom Emmer, just like Patrick McHenry, is a staunch pro-crypto advocate. So the chance of us getting a pro-crypto advocate as Speaker of the House basically just rose from like 1% to like 30, 40%, possibly even 50%. The other proposal is like having Donald Trump being Speaker of the House, but I don't think a non-member of the House of Representatives, although technically it is possible, can actually be Speaker of the has actually ever been Speaker of the House. But it is technically possible for them to all vote for Trump. I don't think that would work. I don't think Trump would have any support from the moderates. It would only be the MAGA people trying to vote him in. I actually think it's much more likely that Hakeem Jeffries gets a couple of GOP votes and he becomes speaker than Trump just comes out from outside of the House and becomes speaker. But that's much less likely than either Patrick McHenry or Tom Emmer becoming Speaker of the House, and that's really, really good for crypto. I bet Gary Gensler might be shaking in his boots now because like the Speaker has the power to bring resolutions and bills to the floor. So you can see a lot of anti-SEC and a lot of anti-Gary Gensler legislation maybe coming to the floor if McHenry retains the speakership for a while, which definitely is a big possibility, or if Emmer gets voted in for Speaker of the House. And he is the Republican whip in the House. So he is like very, very high up on the list of potential appointees. One of the things was like both these guys do support McCarthy. So McCarthy runs again, he gets speakership again. But Kevin McCarthy has had enough. He is not going to run for the speakership again. So based on that, it's probably going to be Emmer, maybe McHenry, maybe one of the others. So there is a very, very nice chance that we get a pro-crypto advocate in the House. And that is just like really awesome. And more than that, like they would actually play, I think, very well into the Coinbase lawsuit. They could actually pass bills very, very quickly that actually favor crypto. And since the GOP does have the majority in the House, it probably would pass the House. I don't really know if it would get past the Senate at this point. I'm not really sure if there's that many pro-crypto Democrats in the Senate. There's plenty of pro-crypto Democrats in the House, but I don't really know if there is actually in the Senate. You know that Elizabeth Warren is going to be staunchly against it, but the Democrats can't really even afford to lose 2 votes in the Senate. So there is a very, very hard chance that it would pass the Senate as well, and I don't think Biden would actually veto it. I've actually heard rumors that in the Biden White House, there's essentially like a civil war over crypto. Now, it's actually hasn't come out in the limelight, so some of Biden's advisors actually favor crypto. Biden, I think himself, is kind of indifferent to the subject, and he's going to listen to whatever his advisors actually tell him to, like on most things. And there is an internal conflict in the Biden White House over should we basically support crypto or not. And I do think crypto is going to win that battle. So if we can get a couple of holdouts in the Senate, and if McHenry or Emmer gets control of the House for the long term, I think Gary Gensler is up a creek without a paddle. I think the SEC will even be more pressure to lose that Coinbase lawsuit. And I do think there'll even be more pressure to accept an ETF, maybe as early as, like this month or next month. I think the SEC is gathering that right now. And if they see like a pro-crypto Speaker of the House, I think they'll be more likely to actually pursue a strategy that will actually like alleviate some of the pressure that the SEC is facing from the Congress at this point. Because, getting subpoenaed, being embarrassed is not a good way to go out. So this is actually all turning out to be a really, really big win for crypto, ousting McCarthy and possibly getting a really true crypto candidate in the House of Representatives for the Speaker role. The Speaker has a very important role. He brings bills to the floor and he has a lot of influence in the House. And he is third in line for president. Not that like the first two guys are going to die or anything, because, like Biden, as far as I can tell, is pretty healthy, and Harris is still there, obviously. But Biden and Harris aren't necessarily anti-crypto. They're just listening to their advisors. And I think even in the White House, there is an ongoing battle against should we be pro-crypto or anti-crypto. And I think the pro-crypto faction is eventually going to win out. If the pro-crypto faction wins out in the White House, then I think a lot of the Senate Democrats will actually turn to pro-crypto. And I think like Elizabeth Warren won't be able to hold much sway. So if you got the Senate being pro-crypto, the House being pro-crypto, and the president being pro-crypto, then it doesn't really matter what Gary Gensler does. They can just pass bills that are actually pro-crypto. And I can definitely see them doing that. So this whole like ousting Kevin McCarthy thing, it's going to benefit crypto a lot. That's what it seems like right now. The other thing is XRP has finally won the final victory over the SEC in their lawsuit. Now, they have won in the way that the judge has completely denied the SEC's emergency appeal. Now, that is very, very important because that was the only way they were going to overturn the the Ripple appeal in time to affect the Coinbase lawsuit. That particular win is probably more important for the industry as a whole than Ripple, because Ripple already kind of had their victory in the initial ruling. And even had they actually had they even got that appeal granted, they would actually have to win the appeal afterwards, which would take a couple of years. But now, since they've got it denied, they have to go through the proper process of appeals, which could take several years. And I don't really know if the SEC is going to do that. Plus, like I said, the environment around government circles is getting more and more hostile towards the SEC, and it's getting more and more pro-crypto friendly in the time to come. So by the time the SEC actually gets all the appeals in order, they might have just completely lost the game. They needed a very, very fast appeal to affect the Coinbase case, to affect the Binance case and others, and they just lost that opportunity. So this denial of that appeal, I think, kind of seals their fate in the Coinbase case, and at least in the securities part of the Binance case. So definitely a very, very bad day for the SEC, which means it's a very, very good day for us crypto investors. Congratulations to Ripple. They pumped all the way up to 54 cents before they actually came down. That is actually their true value. Now it's like 53.1. It'll probably hang around like 52, 53 because Bitcoin is 27,400, about 1,400 points higher than where it was just a couple of days ago. So all the coins are going to follow suit. But like I said, this is a really, really big bright spot for crypto as a whole. And this victory, I think, does seal the SEC's fate on the legal realm within the courts. And the political realm is turning quickly against Gary Gensler and his anti-crypto allies. The anti-crypto army is not working very well. It is being ambushed by pro-crypto co-conspirators at every angle, and they're being chipped away and they're being taken down. And the anti-crypto army was never that big in the first place. Because remember, the anti-crypto army was basically Brad Sherman, Elizabeth Warren, and Gary Gensler. Not even Joe Biden or Maxine Waters signed completely on board. And I don't think they're going to be able to stop the train that is crypto that's coming, especially with the rumors that the White House is completely divided over the crypto issue. If like the leading Democrats are divided over crypto, like the anti-crypto people are definitely in trouble, because the Democrats were supposed to be staunchly allied in support of crypto, and it just does not seem like that is the case right now. So very, very good news for us. I wonder if this chaos will actually result in us getting really favorable conditions for crypto and finally getting this bull market started. It would be a really nice surprise, and the government shutdown would actually lead to really awesome things happening for crypto at the end of the shutdown. We'll see if Tom Emmer gets the seat, we'll see if Patrick McHenry keeps the seat, or we'll see if someone else comes in immediately. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but right now the possibilities favor us. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.